Hello, listeners. Welcome to another program of my channel. Today, I'm going to teach you English, rambling on the events that has been going on here in my country for the course of the past 2 weeks. I live in Iran, and it's been kind of on the top of the news lately. Um Wherever you live, uh, in Asia, Europe, or America, you might have heard things about Iran and the recent happenings here. Well, what happened was uh, that a war broke out here in my country. It happened around 2 weeks ago. It broke out almost overnight, so it was surprising to everyone, including me. I didn't have any idea that there was going to be a war here. But we went to bed. I remember my family and I went to bed at midnight, and then the war broke out at around 3 a.m. So we didn't hear about it up until the next morning when we woke up. We went to have breakfast, and while having breakfast, I just turned on the TV in my room. To I usually watch TV while having breakfast in the morning, and I in that morning I didn't expect to hear that a war had broken out in my country. So it was kind of uh, a surprise to me, to my family. We didn't know what to expect. Uh, this is that was the first time we had experienced such an event in our life. But things have now calmed down. Now, around 20 days after the war was imposed on my country, things are pretty. Things have returned to their peaceful state here. Well, whether you live in a peaceful state where you've never heard about the war, let alone uh, experiencing it closely, or you are in another region where you've had experience of conflict in your life. Here in this show, I'm going to explore the vocabulary of war in English. And there is actually a lot to discuss in the show. Let's start with what happened all the way at the beginning. As I said, it was a kind of surprise strike that was launched by the enemy. And before I dive deeper into the topic, I need to make something clear, which is here. I'm not here to express my political opinion because first of all, this is an English teaching channel. I'm not here to talk about politics, and secondly, I I don't want my channel to be uh, shut down by YouTube just because of some political opinions in this episode. Well, let's start with what happened all the way at the beginning of the war that broke out around 20 days ago. The the region you might have heard a lot about our region, the Middle East. It was already boiling even before the war took place. So this war was quite an escalation of the already tense situation here in the Middle East. If something is an escalation of a situation, it makes things more tense. more difficult. This recent war was an escalation of the uh, already boiling situation in our region. And it was imposed on my country, meaning it was not what we wanted. The enemy imposed this war on us by starting the strikes on our soil. So if something is imposed on you, you don't want it. You aren't willing to have it, but you have no choice but to accept it. The enemy uh, carried out a surprise attack overnight. It was, as I said, it was 3 a.m., uh, 3 in the morning, we can say, when the surprise attack came about. And the next morning, uh, I heard on the news that now we were at war and we had no choice but to fight back. Well, that was not what I was looking for. That is not what I am looking for at uh, this stage of my life. All I want is to a life full of prosperity. I want to work. I want to make money. But when a war takes place, you have no choice but to fight back. I already uh, went over two new vocabulary words: escalation and impose. The third one is going to be deterrence. A deterrence is something that stops your enemy from launching an attack on you. It could be a, a political deterrence, it could be a military deterrence. It is something that makes the enemy think about the consequences of their actions before they take any hostile uh, steps against your country. By the way, I'm not sure whether uh, this was the best spot to record this video. I am at a park today. I usually record my videos in my cozy room at home, but today I just didn't have the mood um, to stay at home. And while I was here, I thought to myself, why not record an English video about uh, about war? This is a sort of video you may not find on other English teaching platforms because this is a kind of controversial topic. War is a controversial topic. Nobody wants to talk about it unless they have to. And since I live in this country that has just gone through a war, let's say, uh, I can think of nothing else but uh, war. And I hope that in this program we can explore some war vocabulary together and expand our English knowledge through this topic. But I don't force you to listen to me all through the show. If you live in a peaceful region where you've never heard anything about war or conflicts, you can close the window and go learn English from another channel. But if you are interested in improving your English knowledge as far as war vocabulary is concerned, you are in the right place, and I'm here to teach you that. Well, when the strikes were carried out by the enemy on the first night of the war, then my country had to kind of respond by launching some missiles at the enemy. A missile is a sort of big bullet. The difference is a bullet is shot from a gun, but a missile is launched from a launcher. The launcher could be uh, on the ground, or a missile could even be launched from an airplane up in the air. Here, there were some missiles that were launched at the enemy, and the enemy had some uh, advanced defensive systems that could kind of shoot down the missiles even before they reached their soil and hit their targets. But these defense systems are not perfect. Their success rate is 50%, meaning they can shoot down only 50% of the coming attacks. So the other 50% of the missiles would go through and hit their targets in the enemy's territory. And then things were almost out of control. Like each side of the war uh, attacked the other side almost non-stop. There was this continuous flow of missiles being launched uh, into the air, and military planes that were flying uh, up above our heads almost 24/7. And it was kind of frustrating to be experiencing such a thing closely, because this was like the first time I had experienced a war so close. And I before that I didn't know what it looks like um, to live in an apartment and uh, be ready to die at any moment, because your apartment could be targeted by bombs and missiles, and then you would have to live under the rubble. You would have to live under the rubble, and there was not such a good chance to uh, get out of the rubble alive. Well, this was uh, a very frustrating period of 2 weeks. Now there is a ceasefire in place. A ceasefire, by the way, is a state where the sides involved in the war agree to stop their attacks at each other, either temporarily or permanently. In this case, there's a ceasefire in place, meaning there aren't any more attacks going around, at least for the time being. But nobody can guarantee that the ceasefire will be in place for any more days. Like, it could be violated by any side of the war, and then the second round of the war will take place, and all of those that happened in the first round will restart. So now you know the word ceasefire. Let me uh, summarize the the vocabulary that I've already covered in the past 16 minutes. Ceasefire is a state where all the sides involved in the war agree to stop their attacks, impose a war on a country, refers to the situation where um, a country is attacked and they aren't willing to start a war, but they don't have any other choice but to defend themselves. And then we had uh, deterrence, that is uh, a political strength or military strength that stops the other states from taking any aggressive and hostile steps against a state. And then I don't remember what the first word was, because here I am just recording this video um spontaneously. I didn't prepare for this video, nor did I know that I was going to talk about war and war vocabulary in the show. Anyway, the war continued for around a week before another country, in this case the United States, decided to join this war and conduct a military strike on Iran. They said the their targets were the Iranian nuclear facilities. So the president of the United States ordered some of their bombers to fly over Iran and drop bombs on the Iranian nuclear installations. And now there were three countries that were actively in the war. Two of them, Israel and the United States, were in one side, and Iran was on the other side. When an air raid takes place, an air raid is a strike carried out from the air by usually by military aircrafts. When an air raid takes place, the military aircrafts fly in the sky, and sometimes they could target civilian infrastructures, including residential buildings, which is the, the worst thing that can happen in any war. Inevitable, and yet uh, the most dramatic aspect of any war. When any of those bombs dropped by military aircrafts hit um, a residential building, they can bring the whole building down. And then people in the building might be ordinary people, ordinary innocent people who might be living in their apartments, could be stuck under the rubble. And sometimes these innocent civilians have to spend days or even more time under the rubble before the rescue team arrives at the targeted site and take them out of the rubble. And nobody knows when the rescue team arrives at the targeted site, the uh, the people stuck under the rubble are still breathing or not. Sometimes the rescue team arrives at the site just to take out the dead bodies of the people um, from the from under the rubble. That's the most dramatic thing that happens in almost every war. And fortunately, my building during this war was not targeted by missiles or bombs, so I I survived, and I didn't have to get stuck under the rubble before the rescue team would come and take me out. Anyway, it's almost 8 p.m. here, and it is getting dark. When you can see when I started the show, there was a very strong sunshine on my face. I couldn't even bring up my head to look at the camera. But now the sun has almost disappeared, and even the the lights around me, the electric lights around me, have turned on. Well, um, this is the spot I chose for today's video. Let me show you around. Look, here is the spot I chose to record this video for you. Not because this is a nice spot. I don't think it's uh, that beautiful. It's just uh, some empty place out here in the park, but because I wanted to take some fresh air. I thought I really needed some fresh air after all that happened recently. I'm going to record more of videos like this, but hopefully next time I'm going to talk about something more interesting than war. And it's quite hard to find an interesting topic for an English teaching video. Well, if you have any suggestions as far as the topic of my next video is concerned, please leave it down there in the comments. I'll definitely read your comments, and I really need someone to help me pick up an interesting topic for my videos. The topic should be interesting, and also should be something that can be discussed using intermediate vocabulary in English, because most of the audience of my channel are intermediate learners of English, and I need to talk about something um, at an intermediate level. So please help me find an interesting topic for my next video, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Goodbye for now.